I'm 84 and moving like I'm 40 again, all thanks to this rare cooking oil. And as I sit here remembering the mornings when simply rising from bed felt like lifting a mountain, I want to speak gently to anyone who knows that quiet fear of slowing down, that soft dread that creeps in when your knees hesitate or your back tightens or your balance feels just a little less certain than it once was. Because I understand how easily the body's changes can make the heart tremble, how strange it feels when movements you once trusted begin to feel unsure, and how deeply we long for even a small return to steadiness, to comfort, to the simple joy of walking across a room without bracing ourselves. And it took me years to learn that sometimes the body whispers before it shouts, that stiffness often begins as a subtle drying within the joints and tissues, a natural part of aging where the protective fluids become thinner, the muscles become less responsive, and the tiny circulatory pathways that bring nourishment to our cells slow down just enough to make everything feel a little heavier, a little duller, as though time itself is placing a gentle hand on our shoulders to remind us that life is always changing. Yet even these changes have reasons and patterns, and understanding them, just in simple, natural terms, gave me a sense of control again. Because what many don't realize is that inflammation, that mild, warm swelling deep inside the joints, is often the quiet culprit behind stiffness, and it happens when the body feels overworked or undernourished at the cellular level, when it lacks certain fats that keep everything flexible and certain antioxidants that soothe the nerves and soft tissues. And it was in searching for something gentle, something real, something I could actually use every day without fuss, that I found this rare cooking oil, the one that slowly helped me move with a freedom I thought I'd lost forever, an oil rich in natural compounds that support joint lubrication, calm inflammation, and help restore the soft glide of movement we rely on more than we realize. And this oil, cold-pressed sesame oil, especially the darker, unrefined kind, became a quiet companion in my routine, a simple remedy that felt almost too humble to make a difference. Yet it did, and it did so not with force or speed, but with a deep, steady nourishment that felt like kindness spreading through my body. And the way I used it was easy, the way anyone could every morning. I warmed a teaspoon of the oil just slightly, just until it felt like the warmth of sunlight on the skin, and I rubbed it gently into my knees, into the back of my legs, even across my lower back, and the warmth helped the oil slip into the skin surface, helping the tissue soften, helping the blood flow open, helping the joints feel just a little less guarded. And on the days when my hands felt stiff, I massaged a few drops into my fingers while breathing slowly, letting the scent calm me, letting the routine itself become part of the healing. And after a week I noticed something small yet unmistakable, a smoother rise from my chair, a softer step in the hallway, a sense that my legs were listening to me again. And I also added just half a teaspoon of the same oil into my breakfast, sometimes mixed into warm porridge, sometimes drizzled on toast, sometimes taken on its own with a sip of water. Because sesame oil contains natural lignans, vitamin E, and healthy fats that help nourish the joints from within, and taking it in small daily amounts felt like giving my body a resource it had quietly needed for years. And I always tell people, use it calmly, use it gently, use it in the morning when the body is waking, or in the evening when tension gathers, because the body responds differently at different hours, and the softness of the early day or the quiet of the night helps the oil work in harmony with your natural rhythms. And what I noticed over time was not a miracle, not a sudden transformation, but something more trustworthy, a steady loosening, a steady warming, a steady return of mobility that felt like a gift offered in small pieces, day after day, a kind of comfort that grew slowly, the kind that stays. And I began to feel sensations I had missed without even realizing it. That easy swing of the legs while walking, that gentle flexibility when bending to pick something up, that sense of lightness in the hips that made me feel connected to the world again. And I remind myself often how healing rarely arrives with drama, how it rarely announces itself with suddenness, but how it builds like morning light, softening everything it touches with time. And sesame oil became part of that light for me, a natural support that reminded me that aging is not a surrender, that movement is not lost, but simply waiting to be nurtured. And every day, as I warmed the oil in my hands, I felt gratitude for the simple rituals that keep us going, the small acts of care we offer ourselves even when the world is not watching. And perhaps that is why I share this now, in this calm voice, with this gentle rhythm. Because I know someone listening may feel the weight of slowing down, may wonder if their steps will always feel unsteady, may fear the loss of independence. And I want you to know, there is still room to heal, still room to strengthen, still room to move with ease again. And if a humble spoonful of oil can bring such comfort, imagine what kindness and consistency can do for you. Imagine what a single daily habit can awaken in your body. And so I say this with warmth. Try it. Give your joints this little gift each day. Touch your knees with care. Breathe deeply as you massage the warmth into your skin. Allow yourself to believe in gradual change, because healing loves patience, and your body, even now, is listening, responding, trying. And as you move forward, may you feel gratitude not just for the improvements, but for the chance to begin again at any age, for the chance to reconnect with the strength that has lived within you all along, waiting to rise, waiting to carry you gently into every new day.